quarterback.
Oh, there's a goal.
If you're looking for even more NFL satire and shitposting, there is only one source to turn to. Brandon Perna. He's a man that knows a thing or five about the art of football. That's Good Sports is his home base. Analysis and commentary on the week's games, reactions to all the happenings throughout the league, and a few dad jokes sprinkled in. Come on, who doesn't love a good dad joke? He learned from Sun Tzu. The best attack is one that involves laughing at your enemy's mistakes. Where do you get this? Right here on YouTube with That's Good Sports. Check him out for daily NFL updates and satire. Link to his channel is in the description. It's do or die time, Lions. You got lucky because of Carolina's idiocy, but these are the type of games you need to win if you want to make the playoffs again. You even get an early Christmas present. Mitch kissed so many titties that his shoulder was banged up from the friction. Today you get to bask in the clipboard legend of Chase Daniel. It's like seeing Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster in the flesh. You find it hard to believe, but yes, this man does exist. You can make easy work of them, right, Detroit? This play wasn't offensive pass interference. Ref ball and Lions, what a combination. Never mind the salt, let's just skip ahead to your favorite segment. Matthew Stafford is an elite NFL quarterback.
Lions all tied at 16. Here comes Stafford. And he's picked off!
You are paying this man about $27 million this year to be a perennial cock tease. Hell, his receivers think he's so elite that they stopped giving a fuck on end zone routes. Thus, we experience the tradition of Lions fans everywhere. Patricia's gonna make you practice in the cold again because toughness, isn't he? This game was how I envisioned Thanksgiving playing out in the 19th century. A bunch of battered, fatigued Redskins led by Colt McCoy trudging into a wealthy estate for what they hope will be a fruitful dinner. Out of the shadows, despite an incredibly sluggish attack, bands of Cowboys emerged to massacre these tired subjects of Snyder. Absolutely nothing is spared or shown mercy in this brutal bloodbath of a game. Even the Zebras failed to call obvious penalties, despite the Cowboys needing no help from them. In the distance, watching from his carriage, a corrupt land baron cackles with delight as his patrons of the hour fawn over his brilliance. Jason Garrett comes over to clap and chew bubblegum. And he's all out of bubblegum. Good lord, the Cowboys may end up winning this division at 8-8 or 9-7. The only thing worse than a Dallas fan is an arrogant one. You can't let them taste optimism, and they have it once again. Prepare yourselves, football world. Be comforted though, Washington, you do get the butt fumble as a consolation prize. The Atlanta Falcons are at roughly DEFCON 2 with these latest losses. 2 games they should have won on paper, blown in humiliating fashion as the magic that revived their season seemingly ran out. They have to win by any means necessary. The only thing standing in their way, nothing serious, just one of the elite teams of the NFL. The Saints gave their fans a show and quite possibly dinner. The main course is Falcon poached by self-inflicted wounds. What should have been a year pushing for playoffs fumbled away and picked like Atlanta did to themselves all night long. You want a play that symbolizes this franchise? Here, have it. A big catch, running for the end zone, only to piss it away at the 1-yard line. Brick wall, the only thing that stops them is reflecting in the mirror. Enjoy a January off, boys. Just another notch in a long line of failure. How many tank bowls are we gonna have this year anyway? Well, roll the intro. The relentless quarterback carousel in Tampa Bay continues as Jameis Winston returns against what should be easy pickings. What a surprise they are. The 49ers are in between overcooked and hockey puck as the creamsicles instill a spirited beating on them. There is something that concerns me about the Buccaneers though. Famous Jameis didn't make a turnover, and they made all of their field goals. Is this a sign of the apocalypse? Quick, Niners, send us your sacrifice. Another arrest for that guy? God, what a fucking idiot. Begin the glorious tradition of the football world, where Bostonians make their trek to New York to not only gloat about the World Series, but take in an easy victory against the Jets. Today's gimmick is the second oldest pair of quarterbacks to start a game in the NFL. Am I supposed to kiss your ass for this win, New England? Woohoo, you beat the butt fumble in a game you were favored to dominate. Gronk scored a touchdown for the first time in a fortnight. Victory Royale as your fanbase does that stupid dance all those 12-year-olds do. Next, you'll shit in their complimentary fruit basket. A bittersweet reunion between Hugh Jackson and the Browns. Let's remember all the good times. That would be this game. The team that formerly employed Jackson laid into the ever-loving shit against the defense that Hugh Jackson now assists in running. Congratulations, Bengals, you have lost your punching bag of the division. They were straight annihilated. Cincinnati gets some prizes too, though. First, an injury taking AJ Green out of this game, limiting your air attack. Speaking of passing, Andy Dalton's thumb got wrecked. Bow down to a team that hadn't won a road game in over 3 years. The shade that the Browns were throwing at Hugh Jackson all game was delicious karma. It's obvious that he can't lead an organization and left bad blood in Cleveland. Let's make him our heir apparent to Marvin Lewis. And you wonder why the Bengals are the namesake? Oakland, I know your season has been a disaster, but you need to do the rest of the AFC a solid. We need you to shit on the Ravens' hopes and dreams. They're starting this flashy young quarterback in Lamar Jackson again. Hell, you're keeping it close. I can't wait to laugh at Baltimore for this defeat. You mean the Raiders didn't win? Their defense sucks and can't stop Jackson? Oh joy. Why the hell did people see Oakland as a playoff contender before the year? This team is horrible. Operation Destroy Derek Carr is in its final stages. Soon he will be ruined like his brother was.
Why, thank you, Tree. It's my pleasure to provide an inside look from both a Giants fan and a recent rectal exam recipient, which incidentally occurred in the second half of this Week 12 matchup between Big Blue and the Eagles in Philadelphia. Let's see. Started off great for the Giants as they jumped out to a lead and had me texting the one asshole Philly fan I know if there was anything good on TV. Eli throwing darts to Odell, Saquon carving up the defense like a John Madden turducken. Olivier Vernon came out of hiding from the Vietnamese jungle, and it looked like the proclamation of 8-0 and an insane win out was possible. Fire up the Twitter, boys. It's time to talk shit. And just like that, Eli Manning thought it was 2011 and his arm was still worth a shit, and he found out, no, it's not. From there, Vernon kidnapped Saquon Barkley and returned to the outskirts of Hanoi, where the two made bandanas out of their jerseys and sat around a campfire singing Kumbaya. Bad enough that this team collapsed into the sinkhole that is this season, it was doubly bad to see the kicker Elliott drop a hot Carl on us for the second season in a row. In a year where the best kicker ever is missing extra points and every leg in the league is misfiring like a Revolutionary War rifleman, yet any kicker that lines up against the Giants aces their boots like they were performing surgery on a fucking grape. And yes, this season is officially over and the Giants have clinched the NFC East spot for the tank bracket. We'll see you guys in April when there's a fucking draft.
I don't know how I can emphasize the importance of this game for both teams. Seattle's trying to get their edge back, with most games being as tight as can be. The Panthers boasting a home winning streak, eager to return to their winning ways. It's pretty impressive how potent an offense can be run through one man. The photogenic legend himself in Christian McCaffrey. The Seahawks can't stop him. He's tearing these guys apart piece by piece. They're trying to keep up, but your might is too strong. You have them pinned on a 4th and 3. End their optimism.
Blitz. Picked up. Wilson going for it all. He's got it! More!
You do know you're supposed to look for the ball when defending, right? Fine, just take the rock and ram it down their throats. Graham Gano is fucking money in these situations. This is too easy.
Snap and hold are good. The kick is up. It is no good!
Do we call this the announcer's jinx? Probably. Well, we know how this ends now. The Russell Wilson magic is what happens. Welcome back to the mosh pit of playoff seeding, Panthers. Here's a dagger from the hefty lefty. You guys are frauds. Remember these losses if you miss out on the playoffs, boys. These are gonna sting. I think we can call this the first true home game the Chargers have had in LA. Instead of one flooded by the opposing team's fans, we have huge swaths of nothing. No, this isn't alarming, it's progress. There may be a chance that there are mostly Charger fans at this game. They got to see an absolute beating of one of the worst teams in football. The Cardinals are not an NFL team. They are a freak show exhibit. They are trotted out from town to town for a bunch of people to laugh and to be aghast at their deformities. Their headliners are the bearded lady Josh Rosen and the incredible wasting Fitzgerald. You're eternally fucked. Have a nice day. Who knew that a month ago this game between the Dolphins and Colts would have serious playoff implications in the AFC? Packing the tanks for both these guys, it's game face time. Miami has finally unleashed the power of Tannehill before he somehow suffers another freak injury a few weeks from now. The stakes are understood as both teams fight with everything they've got. The victor with a leg up, the loser with the sting of an uphill battle. As the dust and smoke settles, one man stands strong. Andrew Luck. Indy is victorious for the 5th time in a row. To hell with Atlanta, I want the shit that the Colts have. This team competed in one of the first tank bowls and now they're deep in the hunt. It's proof that you can achieve anything you put your mind to. Or have a healthy QB not running for his damn life anymore. They grow up so fast. The last match between these two left a sour taste in all our mouths. A tie, one of the most insultingly inconclusive ways to finish a chapter. Today though, this will be different. We will have a winner. and it shall be the Vikings. It's not hard when they're facing a team that hasn't won a road game all season. I know Aaron Rodgers, but the rest of these Packers are trash. They'll just stumble over themselves when they have easy chances to get ahead. Look at this fourth down, a handoff after a previous handoff. Truly men of genius. Oh, here's a nice punt. Whoopsie, he touched the ball. The Packerina's screwed. But I know Aaron Rodgers. He's fucking off. Shit tons of underthrows and overthrows alike. And it's not a one-off issue for him this year. Green Bay's playoff hopes are in some serious shit, and they can't use a Rodgers injury to excuse them this time. I told you the horse eventually loses his legs after a while. Good job having no plan B. Tennessee, I am completely baffled as to what the hell you are from week to week. Sometimes you'll run out and completely ravage teams like New England and Dallas. Then suddenly these massive eggs will be laid and no one will have a fucking clue as to why it happened. This next example is in the Houston Texans, a team on a hot streak, sure, but they've been very mortal. Your defense has been your bread and butter and their running game flat out scorched the earth that your children walk on. As you continually go for it on fourth down near the goal line, the Titans waste a near-perfect day by Mariota because they chose to imitate this year's Patriots D. Here are your playoff aspirations. Now watch as we strike them with a sledgehammer. The Texans themselves, not only riding the high of their streak, are also in a state of mourning. Their owner, Bob McNair, is dead. Not exactly a popular figure with keeping Rick Smith around in the comments, but he did bring the NFL back to Houston. That legacy cannot be denied. Rest well. May you lead the inmates to run the asylum of heaven, sir. Come hither, children, and regale in the ever-esteemed lol cow of the week, Adrian Peterson. Further proof that there are some people that don't just fail to learn, they double down on their behavior. This past week, an interview came out with the current Redskin running back. Turns out that he literally likes to see the skin red. He admitted that he still beats his kid with a belt. For reference, AP was given a season-long suspension several years ago for beating his kid with a switch. This is about as boneheaded as passing the ball on the 1-yard line. AP may be a generational talent at running back, but he also has generational idiocy. The electric fence shocked you once, but then you go back to it and get shocked again. You'll be lucky if the NFL doesn't throw the book at you again. Yeesh. And now, a moment of silence for all those we've lost over the past week.
Unit lost. 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 Unit lost.
The football gods show no mercy. Amen.
Jones, the return man for the Ravens. Good punt by Townsend to the 30. Jones head of steam to midfield. Jones with blockers down the sideline. Jones inside the 20, and he will go! Touchdown, Baltimore!